Hi Ansh. So we completed current electricity chapter, and the next topic we have magnetic effects of currents. And in current electricity chapter also we discussed heating effects of current. When current passing through the conductor, due to its resistance, some of the electrical energy is converting into heat energy. So that is a heat generated or produced whenever current is passing through the given conductors. So that is the heating effects of currents we discussed. Okay, we written the equations also, and we solved the combination of resistors, some numericals we calculated, right? So now we can move on to the next chapter, that is magnetic effects of currents. Magnetic effects of currents. So in this, first we'll go for the what is a magnet and what is the magnetism and what is the magnetic field and what are the magnetic lines, field lines, and how we can be represented, and what is the direction of the magnetic field. So what is the magnet? So the basic information or introduction related to this magnetism, magnet. So coming to this magnet or magnetism. So magnet is nothing but it is a solid material. Magnet is a solid material which has the property of attracting the other objects like iron, cobalt, nickel. So all these are just attracted towards that material, and we can call that a solid material, or that material which can be has the property of attraction of other materials like iron, this nickel, cobalt, etc. So that solid is we can call as a magnet. And here magnet, that will be, the name comes from a place where we can be get the magnetite. It is an iron ore which is produced or which can be obtained at a place, the place where you can be get this magnetite, that is an iron ore which has the property of attracting these cobalt, nickel and iron, etc. So these magnetite iron ore is available or identified at an island, so that island name is Magnetize. It is a island name is Magnetize. It is in Greece. It is in Greece country. There you can be having an island name. That island name is Magnesia. The island name is Magnesia. So based on that name, where you can be get this magnetite in iron ore, based on that name, where we can place name, where we can be get this iron ore which has the property of attracting the other materials. So we can be called that a solid material or magnetite is named as a magnet on the history of that island, where you can be get that magnetite and iron ore, right? So here the simple information regarding this magnet. So here magnet is a solid, so which has the properties, property of attraction, property of attraction of an objects like iron, cobalt, nickel, etc. is called magnet. Right? So the name of this magnet for that solid material is this magnet is nothing but it is an iron ore. An iron ore called magnetite. Magnetite. So it is a Fe3O4. The chemical name it has magnetite. So this magnetite is the iron ore which has a property of attracting the other materials, and which is locating this magnetite. The iron ore can be locating at an island. That island is present in Greece. That island name is Magnesia. So here we have an island named Magnesia at Greece. So here name of this island is Magnesia. So because of this name, we can be called this solid as the magnetite, the iron ore. So this name of the Magnesia comes to this magnetite and iron ore, and this iron ore we can be has the property of attracting these iron, cobalt, nickel materials, and we can call these solid material as a magnet, right? So this is usually observed by the starting ancient civilizations, where this Chinese, they were used to these magnets for navigation purpose. That is when they are traveling in oceans, so they will use these magnets for directionality. So they will always these magnets can be locating, or they can be oriented. If it is freely suspended in air, then automatically the magnet will be comes into the direction of north-south direction of Earth magnetic field. Any magnet, if you are freely suspended in air, automatically that will be deflected and comes to an equilibrium along the direction of north-south of Earth magnetic fields. So because of that north, south and east to west, so we can have that directions, that is north, east, west, south. So automatically you can be having that in which direction we are moving, in which direction we are traveling. So the navigation purpose, the Chinese and Greece, they are used these magnets which we can call as a compass, magnetic compass. That magnetic compass or magnetic needles are used for navigation purpose. That is the first application observed in this civilizations in the 18th century, 1820s or 18th centuries only. There you can have this study about or think about a solid material which has the property of attracting these materials, and because of that attraction we can call this solid material as a magnet with the name where you can be get this iron ore is available at an island. That island name is Magnesia, and because of this name of that island Magnesia, we are giving that solid material as a name magnet. So this is a simple introduction or basic history related to the name, how we can given or assign for a solid material has a property of attracting the other materials called as a magnet, right? So this is a simple basic information related to this what is a magnet and where it is available, and what is a magnet chemical composition. It is Fe3O4, that is a triferro tetraoxide, triferro tetraoxide, which is nothing but magnetite. It is an iron ore which is first identified at a place, an island, which is Magnesia, observed at Greece, correct? This is the information related to magnet. And now here coming to this, magnet has a property of attraction, right? Not all the materials, some materials like iron, cobalt, nickel, etc., they can has a attraction property related to this magnet. And the magnets may be used nowadays we can have the viral or number of vital applications are available, and we are using in different cases. Okay, especially in case of where we can be having electromagnets. There we can be used to in construction fields, especially rail brakes, that is electromagnetic brakes. There you can be having the magnets are used, and also earphones, magnets are used, and storage devices, magnets are used, ATMs, credit cards, everywhere in computer hardware, that is where we have the RAM, that is storage device. All these are comprised or made up of only magnets. Maybe magnets are temporary, permanent you can have, and also natural, artificial also we can be having. Naturally available magnets we cannot be used for applications directly. We can convert that natural magnet into an artificial, then we can use that artificial magnet for different applications, various applications in various fields. Right? So that different informations we can be having as of now at your level 10th, that is not there. So just I am giving the information about a magnet. So here the types of magnets we can be having. The shape of the magnet, if it is natural magnet is there, that is which is available in the, that is in nature directly, which has no particular shape, no definite shape it can possess, and we are making them that shape according to our application part. Maybe it is a straight rectangular rod, that is nothing but a magnetic bar or bar magnet. It is like a, just like a small length, some 6 centimeters and half centimeter breadth, some thickness 0.5, or maybe this thickness is 0.2 centimeter. So you can be having that bar is called as a bar magnet, or maybe compass needle, or maybe it is horseshoe magnet. So depends upon the applications of the magnet. We can have the different shapes for the magnet. So magnet shapes. So magnets, first we can make them into classified as a natural magnets and artificial magnets. Natural and artificial. So natural magnets, that is Fe3O4. We can have, that is an iron ore, which has the property of attracting the other materials like iron, cobalt, nickel. And here artificial is also, that is we are making this natural to artificial, that is by taking some iron or nickel or cobalt, you make a rub with the natural one. Automatically this iron also which is rubbing with the natural one will become also getting some attraction properties for the other material, so that it is also acquiring the magnetic properties. So we can call which is getting the magnetic properties by making rubbing of this object with a natural magnet. There we can be get some of magnetic properties, it can be acquired. Then we can call that magnet is a, it is artificial magnet. And the shape of this magnet can be, this artificial magnet can be converted into different shapes based on the applications. So here natural one is it can be available in any shape. There is no definite particular shape you can be observed for the natural magnets. But artificial magnets we are preparing so that we can make into the different shapes based on the applications. So the artificial magnets you can make into any shape based on the applications where they are used. So they are, one is a bar magnet, and compass needle, and horseshoe magnet, So here the shape, here artificial magnets are not types these. We can be having, these are the shapes of that magnets we can be constructed or prepared based on that application. If you go for the first one, bar magnet. So for bar magnet the shape will be given as here. Like this you can be represent. It is like a shape of like this. It can be having some length, breadth, some thickness also. It can be having like it is cuboid, you can call. The shape of this one will be, it is called as a cuboid. Like this you can have. So this is what it is called as a bar magnet, and which can has north and south poles. For every magnet can possess the dipole, that is a north pole and south pole. So what is this pole and what is the dipole? What is the direction of the magnetic field lines? So all those I'll give you. Just these magnets are made classified into natural and artificial, and this natural one is no particular shape, but artificial you can be make into different shapes based on the applications. Based on that applications, generally we can be having this magnets can be artificial magnets, can be a bar magnet, it can be having like this, and also you can have second one is a compass needle. So the compass needle is used in the directionality. Compass needle is used to measure the direction of the magnetic field. So compass needle is like the shape of like this, like a diamond. It will be looks like a diamond, the shape of this compass needle. So here also you can be having the north to south. For every magnet it can possess that dipole. Always it is exist, a magnet can be existing dipole. I will discuss the properties of magnet after this class. Okay, now I am giving you artificial magnets shapes. Based on the shape you can be having the names. So bar magnet will be looks like this, compass needle will be gives you like this, and third one is horseshoe magnet. Horseshoe magnet. Okay, this horseshoe magnet is like a U shape. Like this you can be having. Here it is a north pole and south pole. So this is what it is called as a horseshoe magnet. So the shape of the magnet can be in any type of based on the application of the magnet. Based on the applications of the magnets, we can be make that shape into different. One is a bar magnet, compass needle, another one is a horseshoe magnet. Right? So what is a magnet? What are the types of magnets? And what are the different shapes for the magnets? Correct? So these are what we have. Now, if you go for the bar magnet, so bar magnet is generally we can be used in the laboratory and experimental applications. For experimental, for proofing, and for drawing that magnetic lines and neutral points. So all those we can be used this bar magnet. Compass needle is used for the directionality, navigation purpose. In navigations we can be used this compass needle. And horseshoe magnets are used in the moving coil galvanometer, which is very sensitive for deflections of a current carrying conductor makes the deflections because it produces the magnetic field. Within that magnetic field, the needle can be deflected, so which can be measures the very small currents. That is micro amperes it can be measured, or nano amperes. So especially these horseshoe magnets are used in the moving coil galvanometer. In galvanometers, these horseshoe magnets are used, where it can be used to measure the very low currents. That galvanometer is a electronic device used to measure the very low currents. It is in the order of nano ampere, 10 power minus 9 ampere. So very low currents. So these are used in the where it is galvanometers. Galvanometer. So this galvanometer is a device which is used to measure the currents, very low currents in the order of 10 power minus 9 ampere. So very low currents it can be measured. So in this device, these horseshoe magnets are used. And this compass needle is used for navigation purpose to get the directionality. And these bar magnets are used in laboratory practical observations to draw the magnetic lines and locating the null points where they are exist. Right? So based on the applications, we can use any one of these. Okay. Now coming to this magnet, and what is a pole, magnetic pole, and magnetic length. Okay, pole strength and dipole. So like that we can have some terminology regarding this magnet. So here it is a magnet, and here you can be write pole. Next, pole strength, pole strength, magnetic length, so here magnet regarding this we discussed, and pole. What is a pole? For any magnet, if you keep that magnet in the small pieces of iron, if you make an iron into small pieces and put that magnet into that small pieces of that iron, which is called as a filings, F-I-L-I-N-G, iron filings generally we can call. So in that iron filings you just put this magnet, then automatically you can observe that all these iron filings are attracted to the magnet largely at the ends of the magnet. At the ends of the magnet, at both ends of the magnet, that iron filings will be more attractive. And at the center it is almost, it is no attraction at all. There is no iron filing you can be observed. Very large amount of the attraction of these iron filings are observed at the ends of that rod or ends of the magnet. That means where you can be having the attraction property for that magnet is maximum is there, that point or that place is called as a pole. The maximum attraction property for a magnet is called as a pole. Correct? So here pole is a point in a magnet where it can has maximum attraction property. A point in a magnet, a point in a magnet where maximum attraction property, maximum attraction property, maximum attraction property is called as pole, is called pole. And this pole is, we can be represented two. There is a north pole and south pole. So which point we can be called as a north pole, which point we can be called as a south pole. So here, when you are keeping a magnet in a free space, that magnet will be comes into the equilibrium position such that it shows along the direction of the magnetic field of Earth. Along the Earth's magnetic field, that magnet will be comes into the equilibrium. And the pole which is seeking towards the geographical north of Earth magnetic field, then we can call that pole is a north pole. The pole of a magnet which is seeking towards geographical north of Earth magnetic field, which is called as a north pole. And the pole of a magnet which is seeking towards, which is locating and which is observed to be seeking. Seeking means it is locating. So which direction? So if a pole is seeking towards the geographical south of Earth magnetic field, geographical south of Earth magnetic field, then we can call that pole is a south pole. So here, what is a pole? A pole is a point in a magnet where the maximum attraction property is exist, and that point is called as a pole. And we are having this pole is two types of poles are there. One is north pole, another one is south pole. One is north pole, another one is south pole. So here north pole is nothing but whenever you are keeping a magnet in a freely suspended magnet is placed in atmosphere, and it will comes to an equilibrium position such that the pole which is seeking towards the geographical north of Earth, which is called north pole. That means here the pole seeking towards geographical north, of Earth magnetic field, is called as North Pole. The pole seeking towards geographical north of Earth magnetic field is called North Pole. And similarly, there is one more pole is there, which is called as the South Pole. So South Pole is nothing but, similarly, how we can be written the definition of North Pole. Same way you can be write for the South Pole also. So the pole seeking towards geographical south of Earth magnetic field is called as the South Pole. So I can write here, that is the pole seeking towards geographical south of Earth magnetic field. Earth magnetic field is called South Pole. Correct? So these are some basic points related to this. Which one? A magnet, and basic introduction about the magnet, and what is a pole, what are the types of poles, what is a magnet, what are the types of magnets, and what are the shapes of the magnets. So that is I given an introduction part in this class. Okay, we'll see in the next video. I'll give you further. Okay, right.